Hey guys, hope everyone's doing great. In today's video, we are going to be talking about what we are going to be doing to the GR Corolla drivetrain. Now, let's not let you guys wait any further and let's dive straight into it. So I made a post on a few of my social medias and I have told people what I'm planning on doing to this car, and I've gotten a lot of support and a lot of interest in it, so I decided to make a video and just explain to you guys more in detail of what we are exactly going to be doing to this car. So in this video, we're going to be talking about the rear wheel drive swap that we are going to be doing with this car. Basically, we're going to keep the factory G16 engine in this car, and we are going to build it with forged internals at the end stage of this build. But what's more important is we're going to be pairing this engine to a rear wheel drive transmission, and we're going to be building this car into a drift car. So it will no longer be rear wheel drive anymore. So that's that. We don't know what transmission we're going to use yet, but we are thinking that we are going to go with a R154 transmission. So it's keeping it Toyota. So that's good. And we are also thinking about using for the rear diff, because we're not going to use the factory rear diff. It won't be able to take the power that we're going to be pushing through this car, and it will just overheat super easy. So what we're going to be using for the rear diff, we haven't decided yet. It's still undecided, but we are leaning towards using a diff from a GS300 or an LS400 or a Mark III Supra, possibly maybe even a Mark IV Supra. I haven't done any research yet on that, but that's just the thought process currently. But I'm not sure if the Mark III and Mark IV rear diffs are the same or not, but we have to do a lot of R&D on this car. Obviously, you know, we're doing a lot of fab work to it to build it into a drift car. So I know the rear diff can take it because Ryan Turk, he has a GR Corolla, and he currently has a B58 BMW engine in its rear wheel drive, and he drifts it. So I know that this car can be turned into a rear wheel drive car and definitely can take it. So I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about the chassis like being weak in any areas, because he beats the living piss out of his, and it's fine. So going into more detail and what the timeline is going to be like for this, we're starting to do R&D. We're in the research and development phase right now. So currently I'm doing a lot of research. I'm reaching out to manufacturers. We are going to be developing a billet aluminum plate, because that's the factory transmission and that's the engine. We're going to be developing a adapter plate to whatever transmission we use, so it will basically adapt the G16 engine to whichever transmission we use. So for instance, if we use an R154, it will adapt it. It will bolt up to the engine, and then the transmission, the R154 transmission, will bolt up directly to that plate. Now going further, it's not just that we have to adapt to. We also have to have a custom clutch assembly made. So a custom flywheel, custom throwout bearing, custom pressure plate, and clutch disc. It's a lot more complex than you may think. So we're gonna have to do a lot of stuff to get this engine to be rear wheel drive, but I think it will be very unique, and we plan on taking it to SEMA in 2025. We plan on having it done by 2025. We hopefully a lot sooner than that, but I know there's definitely enough room to make it rear wheel drive, because the firewall is way back there underneath that plastic cowl right there. And if we need, we can trim this back as well, like trim this back so we can fit it. But the engine's very short. The engine starts right here and it ends right about there. So it's only about like a little over a foot long, like about a foot and a fourth or foot and a half long. So that's not going to be a problem fitting the engine straightways. So that won't be a problem for us. But we will also have to go on to not just developing a plate and a clutch assembly, but also developing a custom drive shaft, a custom cross member, custom engine mounts, custom rear axles, and just a couple other odd little bits. We're going to have to change the routing of the exhaust. We're going to have to build a custom downpipe, custom charge pipes, custom intake. We're going to have to shorten or extend some of the harness wires. So it's going to be a big project, but I hope you guys will follow this project with me and stay until it is fully completed. So in the next phase, I am just going to be reaching out to some manufacturers, giving them some measurements and just random stuff like that. and eventually we will have a plate, adapter plate, and a clutch assembly. And once we have that, and once I purchase the transmission and decide which diff I'm going to use, we will then start, we'll pull out the transfer case and all the stuff that we're not using, stock intake, stock engine mounts, all that stuff, stock axles and everything like that, and we will start mocking the engine up. And I'm going to be the one that's going to be building the cross member and the engine mounts, because I'm a fabricator, I know how to weld. So I'm going to be building that stuff. I'm going to be building the mounts for the rear diff in the rear. I'm also going to be beefing up the subframe myself, but I am not going to be building the custom drive shaft or the axles, I don't believe, because I think that's a little bit beyond my capability and my skill set right now. But I thank you guys for watching my video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.